How I look at it with patients is first thing first is drink enough water. Make sure that water is clean, filtered, no crap, not tap water. Number one. Number two, avoid the diuretics, right? Avoid caffeine, avoid alcohol, avoid teas, right? So that way you're not peeing out extra water and minerals. Add extra minerals to your water. So good Redmond's real salt, Celtic sea salt, half a teaspoon twice a day is great. Salt your food very liberally. Hydrate, 20 ounces or so before each meal, 10, 15 minutes before. Drink in between meals. It's great. If you're drinking a really clean reverse osmosis water, which is fine, just make sure you add extra minerals back to it. Definitely avoid any distilled water. And then if you want to drink like a really good clean mineral water throughout the day, my favorite here in Texas, Topo Chico is wonderful, right? It's the Pellegrino of the South. Pellegrino is also wonderful, good minerals, sulfate, Gerald Steiner, um, Evian, Fiji. Fiji's got a lot of silica in there. Really excellent out of the gates. Love those. I would say also you may need to have more potassium and magnesium than what you're getting in mineral water and in the salt, because you need about 4,700 milligrams per day. So I recommend everyone head over to justinhealth.com/chronometer, CRONOMETER. I'll put the link below. Run your macros, run a typical day through there, right? Put your age, your height, your weight, your activity level, and you're going to find you need about 4,700 milligrams per day. That's the DRI, daily recommended intake. Most people are only getting 2 to 3 grams, 2,000 to 3,000 milligrams. And you probably have a deficit. And then you also have to factor in when you're stressed and when your adrenals have issues, you may need a couple extra grams on top of that because you're losing extra minerals. So you got to factor that in. So take a look, see where you're at, see how low you're at. And out of the gates, you want to supplement additional potassium, whatever that recommended intake is. If you're at 2,700 milligrams, you want an extra 2,000 milligrams to meet the needs. And then from there, you really want to work with a functional medicine practitioner, because if you go too high on potassium without enough sodium to support it, you can actually lower sodium by doing too much potassium. So you got to keep that sodium potassium in check. Now, if you're doing Redmond's real salt, like I mentioned, along with the potassium, you're probably okay. But if you have any POTS issues at all, you really want to be working with a functional medicine doctor like us. You want to be looking at cortisol. Like Evan said earlier, a blood test is only going to look at your serum cortisol, your protein. It's not going to look at any of your free cortisol. It's not going to look at it throughout the day. It's not going to add it up throughout the day. And then we also run organic acids that look at the catecholamines, the adrenaline, the epinephrine. Again, adrenaline, catecholamines, and epinephrine, it's all the same thing, right? Medicine uses these words to confuse the heck out of you. Adrenaline, catecholamine, norepinephrine, all the same thing, okay? And so we have to test those. And we use organic acids. We'll run tests for vanilmandelate or homovanillate, which give us a window into your adrenaline precursor. So if we're burning up adrenaline, we got to support the amino acids. We got to calm down the adrenals to really help the body, so we're not creating all this extra stress, because that stress causes you to dump minerals. And so if you're dumping minerals, we have to replace what you typically need, plus a little bit on top of that. Plus we got to fix and calm down the whole nervous system, right? That autonomic nervous system. That's the automatic nervous system that controls heart rate, beat. These are things you don't typically think about. You don't think about beating your heart. It happens automatically. So we got to help calm that down.